Welcome aboard Mimpi, our 38-foot Moody sailboat. I'm Kim, and this is Steve. We bought our sailing boat in October 2019 and are planning to sail the Med for a couple of years. We're sailing.
Sure are. In auto.
Well, there's no one at the helm. Does it look a bit creepy? And the captain is going up there. Okay. But it's a gorgeous day. We finally got the main to go all the way out, and we're trying our marriage savers, which are a set of headphones. I will show you. So this is what you call a marriage saver. The reason it's called a marriage saver is because when Steve is all the way over there, I can still talk to him and I don't have to raise my voice and yell and be frustrated. I just had to share this view. Steve's setting up a jibe preventer, but gorgeous. My husband is singing to me from above the deck. I've come down to boil the kettle. I don't know if it comes through on the headphones, but it's very funny. So the other day when we tried this sailing thing, the sun wasn't shining as much as it is right now, and we couldn't get the main to come out, and it was very frustrating, and we got very cold, and then we had a horrible experience parking the boat. It was just stressful because we haven't done it before, and it's this reverse parking thing that you do in the Mediterranean, and not knowing the boat, you know, still getting to know her, so it was all very stressful. Before we moved Mimpi again, we went for a walk to recon the area. Just arriving back at Mimpi. She's in a brand new location and she's all in the dark by herself. We have moved from the Lefkada public pier. We've gone through the bridge and we're setting ourselves up here for the night so that we're ready to depart on our first voyage on the 1st of February. You excited?
Oh, very. And shit scared,
Yes.
nervous.
Beautiful calm morning. We're going to have some breakfast and then head out. It's still a lovely morning and we're ready to go. Right on time, weren't we? Did everything, all our checks, had our breakfast, and then we went to try and start the engine. And guess what happened? It wouldn't start. So welcome to boating life, a few people have said. It's to be expected, yes. And we're very glad that it's happened here rather than while we were out sailing. And then we go and try and start the engine. So what we've determined is that the battery that starts the engine maybe is dead or is not charged. We're not sure. We have discovered today that they've been in the boat since 2011, so maybe they need changing anyway. And so we have reached out to a couple of very lovely people here in Lefkada that we've made friends with in the marina and on the pier. Thank you, Graham and Briony. To find out an electrician or a marine electrician or someone that knows boats can come and help us, which means maybe we'll get going today. We'll wait and see. So after calling around, we managed to get the lovely Ken to come out and have a look, and determined that the engine battery was dead. So we've then been into town, gotten a battery. Steve has just managed to put it together and putting everything back together, but here it's now almost 3 in the afternoon, so we're not leaving today. We will be departing tomorrow. First time that we've got both sails up. We have been blessed with like 7-8 knots of breeze. Flag flying. And our current speed, we're sitting at 5 knots. We sailed from Lygia to a place called Syvota today, another 20 nautical miles. Just after 8 a.m. here, and we're leaving the very pretty Syvota. The sun's rising in the background. Very pretty spot. Good morning from Corfu. I wanted to share the Corfu living the dream day. We decided to stay in Corfu because there's a storm. And this is what the boat has been doing based on Santa's movements all night. It's like being in a washing machine. So living the dream, we have very strong northerlies for most of today. So we're getting off the boat for a couple of hours. We've got 2 or 3 port lines securing us there, and also one on the starboard, because we are rocking and a rolling. Rocking and a rolling. Go Mimpi. Day 1 in Corfu, we hit the pavement and did some serious exploring. What a gorgeous place, and somewhere we look forward to spending more time in. We managed to get some shopping done and some Japanese dinner, a real treat because we've been missing Asian food since leaving Australia. We've been out for like 3 or 4 hours. We made it back onto the boat and we're still rocking and rolling.
Day 2 in Corfu, and we're sitting on 84 days of 90 days for our Schengen visa. With 6 days to go, we really had to get out of Greece to avoid penalty.
Instead of spending the whole day with us looking at walls, we thought the Corfu Sailing Club and surrounds would be a better view while we explain our checking out of Greece process.
We had to visit the Central Port Authority building, which was a bit tricky to find. Eventually we found it, so we could officially check in to Corfu.
Then they told us we would have to come back to check out.
So back again, and this time we had to wait at the Port Authority while papers were cleared by customs. So we waited and waited.
It was hours, actually.
The port officer would remember us every now and then and call customs to check on progress, but nobody would answer the telephone. After getting sick of sitting still, we decided to take matters into our own hands and walk to the Customs and Immigration building. Little did we know the building was only 2 kilometres away.
We got there and it was shut. All locked up. Nobody to be seen.
Eventually we came across an open door and walked in, found someone to ask where we needed to be, and we were directed back through a security gate and then to a side door.
Inside sat one man in a small customs office who looked through our boat paperwork. Still not the original boat paperwork, by the way. We're actually making do with colour copies.
He asked a few questions and stamped where needed to be stamped. We had to wait a bit longer for an immigration officer to arrive and look at and stamp our passport. After having the customs paperwork stamped, we were supposed to walk back to the Port Authority for final sign-off and then return to the customs office again to hand in our transit log.
The customs dude was feeling helpful, and without us knowing it, he got in his car and followed us back to the Port Authority building. He waited for us and accepted our paperwork, saving us a trip.
We were grateful after all the waiting and back and forthing.
Does that make the heart race or what? Can you see Corfu in the background there as we bob along? Again, warning, if you get seasick, do not watch this video. We're having fun. Rugged up and with a cuppa in hand, we took advantage of the break in the weather and made the journey from Corfu to Surrender.
Winds were gusting at 20 knots on the nose, and swell was about 2 to 3 metres. We were lucky to catch a break and be able to depart because we only had days left on our Schengen visa.
So farewell Greece.
And g'day to Albania. Join us next episode as we check in to a new country and check out the local scenery. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for joining us on board Mimpi.